It's the Riot Podcast. This is the Wednesday, December 13th edition of the show. Today, we discuss the different ways of showering that you probably haven't even considered before.
We also talk about why a woman brought her gun into an MRI machine.
No, go ahead.
And ended up shooting herself in the bootay.
Yeah, one of the many things you're not supposed to bring along with you in there. There's actually a very short list of things that you should bring in an MRI machine now that you think about it, right?
I mean, you're in a gown, so not much.
Yeah, pretty much absolutely nothing. We also talk about a gal that has found a new and unique, futuristic, technological way to get revenge on her exes and whether we approve of that. Spoiler alert, we usually don't approve of revenge on exes at all. And that's about it.
We'll catch you guys soon.
Catch you next time.
You won't hear a show like this anywhere else. And that's probably for the best. The worst of the riot. Radio U.
I've got a gal here from New York who has found a way to try to make her ex-boyfriends jealous, even though she may not have a boyfriend at the moment. She's been using generative AI to digitally add boyfriends into her, it looks like Snapchats. So if her exes are following her, they'd see her with these cute guys having cute moments. But the truth is, these guys don't exist at all.
I think you're going a little far. I think you're going a little bit too far, probably. Wouldn't you say so?
It feels like a lot of effort and like you're thinking about them way too much.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah.
It seems like you care a lot. Seems like you want them back. Seems like you might just be thinking too much about them. Why do you care what they think?
Yeah.
It's over.
She says right here, my ex moved on.
Oh.
Maybe it's time for you to do the same thing.
All right, Hudson. You're maniacal. I would just say this. I think that the less that you think about them, the better. The longer you do this little escapade here, the longer you're going to be kept from actually meeting somebody else, most likely.
Yeah. And granted, I guess it seems that she's using Snapchat. Is this an easy explanation once the next real guy rolls around into your life? Or does he see, is there some way he sees these? Maybe if you have like the screen grabs on, I don't know. Do you have to, is she uploading these or is this a filter and the Snapchats are here today, gone tomorrow? I mean, now it's a TikTok that's living on. So,
I mean,
the pictures exist.
This girl's looking rough now. I mean, it's on TikTok.
Yeah.
If she meets a new guy.
With an explanation.
But that doesn't even matter.
That said, your next boyfriend could see these out of context and be like, wow, you've really had a whole cavalcade of fellas in recent times, haven't you?
It would even be a red flag for me to just see her doing this.
Yeah, the fake stuff. Even knowing it's fake.
I'm like, why are you going to this extent to try to get back at your ex? It seems like a little bit much for me. If I saw a girl doing this and a TikTok came out about it, I would be less likely to be interested in her because this seems a little bit much for me.
It's a lot, and then it shows if you guys don't work out, she's going to be vengeful even in this very innocent way. Still vengeful nevertheless.
But maybe as a girlfriend, she might go the extra mile.
Yep, let's look at the positives.
If we're trying to swing it in a good way.
Yep.
But then at the same time, I'm like, if she's mad at me, what lengths won't she go to, you know?
True. Yeah, I mean, well, if this is after you guys break up, this is the worst thing she does, though.
True.
Much worse could happen. But another positive, she's savvy with the AI. That could be, moving forward, a good trait to have.
And think about this, too. If I'm ever not somewhere where she is, she could just put me right in the picture.
Yeah.
If maybe she goes on a trip without me. She's like, I'm there.
Ooh, now that would be much more detrimental to you if you were her ex, though. All of a sudden, she doesn't want to move on. She doesn't want to, and you're trying to you're trying to launch into
somebody
your new
else.
relationship, and it looks like you're still
Hanging
palling
out with
around
her?
with Madeline here.
Madeline, tough look.
Yeah, I don't think I'm for it.
Me either.
Add a little riot to your Instagram feed. Follow @RadioU Official. The Riot. Radio U.
I have a little debate here that's been sparked by a bride in Australia. Back in July, she sent out a message saying, hey, we got a wedding coming up. The wedding coming up right about now. In July, one of her friends said, yeah, I'll be there. Fast forward to the last week or so, getting real close to the wedding. The friend reaches out. Actually, I know I RSVP'd, but we can't afford to travel to the wedding at the moment. I hope you understand. We would have loved to be there. Canceling with about a week to go before the wedding. Now, this bride is trying to charge this friend of hers a no-show fee because obviously everything for the wedding already prepared, planned. This lady RSVP'd. So she's trying to charge her a no-show fee of what would equate to over $1,000 American dollars.
$1,000 for what?
For, I guess, the food, maybe the accommodations, maybe that was blocked in.
That's a wild amount to charge somebody.
It could have been 2 people, maybe more. This is a family. I don't know.
A family of 17?
She says, "This is the bride. I'm scrambling to cover their seats. Otherwise, I guess she's going to try to find somebody else to fill in. Is the other opportunity? Get a fill-in friend that wasn't good enough to make it to the wedding, the first cut, but they might be able to come in and enjoy the wedding in a pinch. Otherwise, though, the bride says she's losing out on $2,000. Must be a pretty nice wedding.
I'm seeing that she said that up to 10 people canceled at the last minute.
Ooh, so she's going. Where was she having this wedding?
Well, I think that was the whole thing. She said, I'm out of $2,000 because 10 people aren't showing up.
10 people.
Which that adds up better.
There you go. So how much is she charging each individual?
I assume probably about $200, which that makes more sense.
Is that a good friend thing to do?
Oh, to charge them?
Yeah.
No, you can't charge these people. That's crazy.
They did RSVP, though.
But that doesn't matter. People cancel at every wedding. And it doesn't matter. She said she's out $2,000, like she's wasting $2,000.
Yeah.
But it was already budgeted in.
But she would have budgeted differently if she knew these people were going to not show up.
Would she have budgeted differently or invited other people? I don't know. I mean, it's how it goes for weddings. People are not going to show. They're going to RSVP people and not be able to go. Do you charge them for something they can't attend?
Uh-huh.
No, you can't do
Especially when one of them said, we can't afford to come to your
So
wedding.
then you're going to charge them? And I think this is how it works. If you're invited to a wedding that you RSVP to, you still get them a gift.
Yeah, right.
So they're still getting you a gift. They're paying their way. It'll probably end up being evening out some way.
Yeah,
At
they'll
the end
probably
of the
take
day,
you next time you're in town. They take you out to a nice, get you dinner somewhere, repay you
it stinks
in that way.
But it happens every single wedding. There's no wedding that occurs where everybody that RSVP shows up. And so you're at $2,000. Guess what? Every single person that's had a wedding in the past 10 years has said, I'm out $1,000 or whatever it is because 5 people said they were going to show and didn't. My brother got married in July. There was like 9 people that RSVP'd that didn't show up. And that's just how it goes.
You also have to think, like, how are you going to actually charge these people and enforce this? They already know, I guess you're upset that they can't come and whatever. But if you said, what are you going to send them a Venmo request? That's easy. They can ignore it. You're not a debt collector.
Yeah.
It's not going to go on their credit score. They're just going to not pay you back. Are you really going to?
I like this one here from Grace. She said you can only charge your guests that don't show up if you're going to charge your guests that do show up.
Fair. That's a good, yep. I think you've solved it, Grace.
Everybody just pay your own way.
Uh-huh.
Pay for your food then. Because you're
like
not, yet
this.
again, you're not out $2,000. You were going to spend it on them anyway. It stinks that they can't come, but at the same time, cancellations are always going to happen.
Yep. And weddings, right? Isn't that one of the perks? You get the leftovers from the catering and stuff, as I understand it.
I'm sure you do. I mean, you pay for the
I
food.
would like to experience that one day.
Who knows? I don't know. I've never been married. But
Yeah.
I would say, yeah, cancellations are just going to happen. Obviously, the late notice stinks because then you're trying to fill it, because you're trying to fill in with other people. And I understand that. But it is what it is at that point.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say don't send the bill.
Yeah, if you charge them, then you're just a bad friend. That's a wild thing to do.
8772 Radio U. What do you think?
Nobody does it better. The Riot Radio U.
Some people are so attached to their guns, man. They're a big deal. You have your gun. It's real important to you. I have a gal here, 57-year-old woman. Her gun was so important to her. She had to have it on her person while she was getting an MRI.
Well, it makes sense. You've heard of all the attacks.
MRI attacks.
When you're in there.
Uh-huh. A notorious place for things to go down. You can't have a gun in an MRI machine. I don't know if you know this. An MRI machine, it's a giant magnet. I think M in MRI, don't quote me on this, stands for magnetic. And so normally they tell you, like, I think if you get an MRI, I've never had one that I remember anyways. Don't think so. Like even if you have any metal anywhere, it can screw up. It can be a bad news in the MRI. This lady, she had her gun on her body in the MRI machine, and the magnetic pull caused the gun to go off and shoot her in the buttocks.
And she lived?
She's still good, yeah.
Oh, so she's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Her identity, location, and where this actually took place has not been revealed.
I wouldn't reveal that either if I were her.
Yeah. But they even, this is bad. They even asked her before they set her in there, do you have a weapon on your person? She said no. She thought it was not a big deal. What's the worst that could happen?
Oh, man. I mean, yet again, this is obviously just the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Yeah.
Like, what are you thinking? Yet again, I don't understand the whole, I'm okay with you, Karen, you're going to do whatever you want.
Yeah.
But having it in the MRI machine, like, why would you lie about it?
What good would it do you?
Why wouldn't, like, you thought that they were going to arrest you? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Why did you need it in there?
That could be the explanation, is if she obtained it illegally, perhaps. Was carrying it illegally.
But even then, like, is the doctor going to check?
Yeah, right. It's not
like
business.
It's a police officer.
Yeah.
She's going to say, do you have a
They're
gun on you?
not going to run the serial number on it.
Yeah.
If you put it in a little tray while you get your body scanned.
They just didn't want her to get shot.
Yeah.
And so what would have happened if she said, yes, I actually, as a matter of fact, I do have my gun with me. They would have said, okay, well, let's go ahead and put it in this bin over here. Get your MRI done.
Good thing you let us know about that. If you had, this is crazy. If you had gone in that machine with that gun,
get this.
You know what could have happened? I mean, it could be bad.
It's a good thing you told us.
Yeah, thank goodness.
Or else you could have shot yourself.
Uh-huh.
But instead, she decided to go the route which, I mean, obviously
led to her
shot in the butt.
Yeah. They said her injury was minor. I guess the doctors would know. The good place to get shot is the butt at a hospital.
Dirk said illegal to carry a gun into a hospital.
Any hospital? So she could, what, did they arrest you at that point? Right before your MRI? Or do they at least do the MRI first and then arrest you after?
They got to do the MRI. That's why you came there.
You think this could be the other thing? Some people, like I said, so attached to their guns. Maybe she forgot because it's just so normal. Like having her gun in a holster is like putting on underwear or, you know, like it's like your fingernails. Like you don't even think about them.
You know what would have been, Regina says, at least her stupidity only impacted her. Imagine if you were the doctor and you were like, hey, if you've got a gun on you, just tell us now. It's okay. Just so we can set it out here. And then she's like, no, I don't have a gun. And then she gets in that MRI, and imagine if it went off and shot the doctor in like the kneecap.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I would have been like, really? Really? You couldn't have said yes?
The charges for that would probably, that'd do you in.
So she was trying to protect herself in the MRI machine, which makes sense because, yet again, attacks on MRI machines,
Yeah.
very prevalent.
Well, you're defenseless. Most people.
Yeah. And you can't even see out of that thing. So, I mean, how do you know what's coming?
You don't know what's going on.
If an intruder breaks in.
Sometimes on TV and stuff, I see them playing. They're playing like music in there because they want to see what's going on in your brain. Different stuff stimulates, so you can be very distracted. So no wonder.
It's similar to a tanning bed, you know. Obviously, when you're in the tanning bed, also that's why everybody has that tan line
the gun tan line
from their gun, because you don't know what's outside of that thing. It makes sense. No, stupidity yet again.
The stories you love with the opinions you hate. The Riot Radio U.
Which way do you face when you shower?
I've seen this. I've talked about this with people.
Yeah?
I face the shower head.
So you put the water is hitting your chest.
That it is.
Primarily.
That's how I shower.
It's hard for me to imagine people living that way because I have always showered with my back to the shower.
Like a lady.
Head. Like a lady?
Yeah, that's how ladies do it.
You think that's a lady's way about it?
Because when girls want to wash their hair,
Uh-huh.
I think it makes more sense for them to do it because they have so much hair in the back.
Yeah.
To where if they were facing it, it wouldn't really work as well.
No, yeah.
To where they can lean their head back.
Okay. I don't think it's a lady's
Well, I
thing
guess
to do that.
we'll see what the texts say.
Yeah.
I think that if I would say that's the ladies' way, but maybe other men are doing this.
See, I would think you would shower. I think why I prefer showering with my back towards the shower head is because then it's kind of like you're getting a nice little massage on your shoulders and back with the water hitting it. You don't need a chest massage, but it feels good to get a back massage. You know, obviously, the better the shower head, the better the massage. But it feels nice doing that to me. Whereas if I'm facing my chest, if it's hitting my chest, then it's like splashing up in my face. The water's getting up in my eyes and stuff. I don't like that.
So when you wash your hair, which way are you facing?
I face away from the shower head the entire time.
Okay.
Until like after I'm all lathered up and I got to rinse off my chest, I will turn around and I got to rinse off when I'm doing the hair. When I'm doing the hair, I'm facing away from the shower head.
Yeah, I do. I'm facing the whole way. I'm facing the front the whole way. The shower head the whole way. Unless when I start to wash my body,
yeah,
if I have to get my back, I'll turn around. But other than that, I'm facing the front the whole time. But this is people. I've talked to people about this because it is so popular on TikTok.
Right.
Kieran, I'm a dude and face away from the shower head. Back massage the whole time he's with you.
Yes, that's the way to do it. See, you're missing out. Have you ever considered showering the other way?
Well, I know what it feels like. I mean, I felt it.
Yeah.
On my back.
It's not good enough?
I have felt it. It's just kind of the way I've always done it since a child. I like that water hit my chest. Nick, I'm with Hudson 100%. He faces away.
So it sounds like you are the strange one.
Well, I think this is pretty 50-50 when you go through the comments on this TikTok. Everybody's pretty surprised at what the other ones do.
Yeah. Yeah, because again, it's not like you... I mean, sometimes you see it on TV or movies, but like I don't even think you really register which way they're facing. And other than that, you don't really observe other people showering all that much. It's like you shouldn't be sitting and watching other people shower. So you're probably, and if you are like at the gym or whatever, you're just thinking about yourself. You're not thinking about what other people are doing. So it's just one of those things you wouldn't pick up on other people doing it differently.
It's kind of like which way you sit on the toilet, front or back.
That's right. I was thinking of wiping. But I don't want to get into
which
that.
way you sit.
This is Radio U's Worst of the Riot.
More feedback on the which way do you face in the shower debate. Todd says, I'm just constantly turning. That gives you a nice even clean, right? Also, Susanna chimed in. Susanna says that, obviously, lady, she primarily faces towards the shower head, going directly flying directly in the face of what you said, that showering with your back turned is the lady's way. She doesn't do it that way, but she does. But that's only if she takes a full shower. If it's a quick rinse, she'll go back turned.
We call that the switcheroo.
The switcheroo. She's got a different strategy depending on how long it's going to take. See, I'm very consistent. I always have my back facing the shower head.
It's funny, though, when you think about all the different things. Like, everybody kind of has a routine in the shower, you know? Everybody has a different. Do you get your body wet first? Do you go straight for the hair? What else are you doing in there? Are you flossing in there? I floss in the shower.
You floss in the shower?
I floss in the shower.
I brush my teeth in the shower.
See, I wait for after
Sometimes.
till that.
Do you go to the bathroom in the shower?
I mean,
Yes.
does that even need to be answered?
Yeah. Not just, you know what I saw? I saw earlier this week that Kelly Clarkson goes to the bathroom in the shower. There's a big debate. She revealed that on her show.
Dee says, I have naturally curly hair. When I'm washing my hair, my back is always to the shower head. The rest of my shower, it doesn't. Just depends. Who knows?
Whoa. So we have somebody that doesn't even have a firm stance either way.
Sometimes she's facing away. Sometimes she's facing the shower head. See, I face the shower head so much that I know for a fact when I get out that my chest is going to be red from the heat hitting it. In my back, no chance it's going to be red.
How high do you turn up the heat of the shower?
Oh, that's a good question. I keep it warm.
Yeah.
I'm not toasty hot. I'm not scalding hot. But I like it pretty hot.
I do borderline burning me.
Oh, so you're a little bit probably a little warmer than me.
Borderline, I may scald myself to death, boil myself alive in a shower one day.
Let me ask you this. Do you, when you turn on the water, right?
Yeah.
And it's warming up, do you stick the toe?
No, I do the hand.
You go hand.
Yeah.
You don't point the toe as if you were maybe like a ballerina?
No, do you do that?
Some people would say they do that.
I feel like my hand is a better judge. Judge because it's closer to where the water would actually be hitting me. If I'm sticking my foot in, that's down below. The water cools off a decent amount by the time it gets there.
You stick your foot in there. Try it. Try it next time. Stick and make sure you point when you do it. Point the toe. That's the important part. You gotta point the toe. That's how I do it.
I remember reading about it's one of those things that, what, were you way too old when you learned this? And it was one guy who said he was like a grown adult before he realized that he could test the temperature of the water before
hopping in it.
Yeah, he would just hop in and turn the water on.
Seems like common sense to me.
His whole life.
You just jump in there.
It sucks at first. You have to really push through the cold.
Sometimes you do get a little eager. I found myself in the shower before it was ready. Susanna says room temperature water, end with cold. Now, you know what that takes?
Toughness.
That does. Mental fortitude.
Yeah. That, which I clearly don't have.
Beth, I remember when I used to take Navy showers. Turn on the water and get all wet. Turn the water off. Soap up. Oh, man. Turn the water on and rinse off. Didn't really matter which way you face. I mean, you're doing it for quickness there.
Yeah, that's right. Efficiency. And saving that water.
Yeah, for me, I like it warm, not too hot. There'll be a portion of the year where I'll take some cold ones. But I'm always touching that toe first.
Yeah.
It'll never hit my chest before it hits my toe. I'll tell you that much.
Myriad reasons I couldn't be in the military is I need a hot shower.
Oh, that's
one of the many. That's what's keeping me back.
That's what's keeping you, huh? If you like that video, there's a ton more. Go check out our past videos and subscribe so you don't miss what we do next.